Hey, Cheng, I've got another movement of the day post for you. Today's model I'm going to call Nap Pose Pairings. Now, I'm laughing already because this is one of the strangest videos that I'm going to probably ever record, but it's so good, okay? I'm going to highly suggest that you think about trying at least something that I'm going to show you. And I did say nap as in sleep. So let's talk about that part first before we worry about all the stuff that's behind me. So, by nap, I mean something between 10 minutes to 45 minutes, no more than an hour. And personally, I used to never be a nap person. I considered it either a luxury or unnecessary. And then I hit, like 47. I'm almost 48. And it's not only necessary, it's good for you. Okay, so let's just assume we all agree naps are good for you. So, another thing is that for the first 10 years of my son's life, the thing that he hated most was to see me asleep. So it wasn't going to happen even if I wanted it to. But now I'm timing this for a couple of reasons. We have, stay at home, work from home, more flexible schedules, so that you might find that you either need or have the opportunity to set yourself up for a nap. And secondly, there's a couple of things that you may not have that you may want to actually purchase, and it's Christmas time. So now, normally I do suggest that everything that we do is, from a standpoint of doing what you can, using what you have, right? So this applies to not only exercise, but for example, in the kitchen, you might, not have a pineapple cutter, but that doesn't mean you can't cut the pineapple. In the workouts, you may not have that specific weight tool, but you can stuff a backpack full of weights. So same thing here. You may not have everything that I have. Also, obviously, our actual nap environment, our bedroom or sofa or whatever, is not going to be the same, so that you would have to use your imagination anyway and think about what it is that you have and about your personal surroundings. So even if I had done this video like in real bedroom setting, I mean, I don't know what kind of bed or wall placement you have. And I personally have a yoga trapeze hanging above my bed, and most people I know don't have that. So we're gonna wing it here. All right, so let's assume everyone thinks naps or knows that naps are good for you, and I certainly don't get to do it that often, maybe once a week on a Saturday or Sunday. And by nap, it doesn't necessarily mean you'll actually even fall asleep, especially if you only have like 10-15 minutes. So this is why we're going to use the pose pairings, because all of the poses that I'm suggesting are good to do regardless of whether you fall asleep or not. So we're really looking at it as your time for yourself, a time of repose, meditation, complete relaxation. And also, personally, I do fall asleep at night to these poses on purpose. But I know realistically, most of us, when we go to sleep, for the whole night, we can't hold a pose, as well as the fact that we have pets, partners, kids maybe in our bed with us, and that is not, the most ideal you don't have control over that situation. Also, if you do get to snuggle or cuddle with somebody, it's worth the twistiness and the numbness and whatever's going to happen with your arms and legs and hands. So this is why it's the nap pose pairings. Okay, so look at some of the stuff that I have set up. Now, first let's talk about outside of the actual, part of laying down. Let's just talk about the ambiance. So let's use everything and anything available to us. So that would be our lighting, our scents, and our music. So start building up your list of props. Your diffuser, like I have here, that you just add essential oils. I don't know if you can see it. It's a cute little diffuser back there with the lights that has like steam type of things that come out, but there's also room sprays that double as, you know, pillow sprays, body sprays, essential oils you could just drop on your pillow. Okay, so let's get that ambiance set up. Secondly, I'll show you the actual props that cannot be substituted. And one of that is, sorry, I have my back. One that is called the Yoga Gem. This is the Yoga Toe brand, and it's the Yoga Gem has this sort of gem figure to it. And I'm not going to show you, but it goes in between your toes. And it's about $25 on Amazon. And what happens is it stretches out your toes, relaxes your feet, stretches your feet, creates that blood flow, and it feels amazing, 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 amazing. And then if you actually have foot problems, continuous use of this will help you a lot. The other thing that I have shown before that is beneficial are these trigger point balls that are double-ended like this, and you could twist to switch it. The reason that I like to have this on hand for naps is sometimes if I need a nap because I'm headachy, then instead of a pillow, I would just place it underneath my skull like this and use that as a pillow, okay? So that's another tool. The other tool that you may actually be able to replicate without the prop itself, but I think it's worth it. This is called, excuse me, Booga. This is called a wedge pillow, and basically you're able to elevate your feet on this. So this is good for people who get swollen legs like I do. And you could play around with that, but that one is worth it. Those are anywhere between like $25 to $50 on Amazon. Okay, so that's basically it for any props that I think are not easily substituted. Everything else is going to be whatever you have. So let's use our imagination. Let's say this is your bedroom or your place of nap, whatever it is. I'm going to start with the easiest poses. So I gave a couple of suggestions already. Now, if you have a bed that is against the wall like this, instead of, you know, floating on an island, and speaking of age, I'm wearing my compression socks. That's where we're at, folks. That's okay. All right, so one of the easiest things that you could do is, if your wall is behind you, lay down the other way, so have your pillow, whatever, to lay your head on, and your feet will go just straight up against this wall, okay? Super excellent for you. Now, if you have the availability to you want to go scoot your butt right up against the wall, I mean almost on top of the wall, so that when you sit down, you're right up against that wall, and you would let the feet hang down and let the gravity do the work, okay? So that would be another pose. All right, so now let's get into the more involved pose and setup here, which I think is well worth it. And once you get over the fact that it looks like a lot, you should be able to recreate it. If you do it once, you should be able to recreate it for yourself again. So here's what we need. We're going to do the reclining bound angle pose. And that is where we're going to lay back with the soles of our feet together like this. So the first thing that you would use is either a body pillow like this, or take a blanket and fold it lengthwise to create that cushion, okay? And then you would have optional 2 additional pillows of some sort of different heights for you to go under that knee. And if you have the yoga blocks or something like a yoga block, what you could do is create an incline of this pillow by using the different heights available on the yoga block. And one yoga block goes higher towards the head, one yoga block goes lower towards the middle of the back, And then when you put that bolster or blanket or body pillow up on top, you have an elevation, okay? Your bum is going to go basically on the bottom edge of this long bolster, in which you would then get into your bound angle pose. If you have the desire, you could take either like a scarf or a yoga strap, something like that, and basically comfortably wrap your ankles together. Now, keep in mind, anything and everything that we're doing here for your nap position, your nap pose, is passive, okay? It should not feel like you're straining. So in this pose, if you're feeling with the knees down that you have tension, especially around your groin area, this is why we prop that up with the pillows. So everything should be passive and relaxed. And when you lay back onto here, then you could play around with this position as well. Put an additional pillow here under your head. And when you lay down, kind of lift your bum up for a second and reposition so that your spine is long. You play around with the position of your arms and your hands so that it's fully relaxed. And then, you know, you can have your eye pillow, your eye, a weighted eye pillow is excellent. But if you don't want to put anything exactly above your eye, then would be so funny if you saw this in real life. But sometimes what I would do, especially again if I'm feeling headachy, is once I'm laying down with my pillow underneath me, I would take another pillow, so where I have a headboard behind me, and I would take that other pillow, usually something of weight like a foam pillow, and actually prop that pillow up right along my eyebrows, and then let the edge of that pillow rest against that wall like this. I know, it's hilarious, but who cares, right? This is all in order to help yourself make the most out of the precious nap time, right? So give it a try. Don't knock it until you try it. This is Jen signing off, reminding you to start where you are, do what you can, use what you have, and go take a nap.